Hey everyone, welcome back, and I hope you guys had a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and I hope you guys had amazing family time spent with your family. I know we did. We enjoyed going skiing and having a couple hours up in the mountains and having a white Christmas, and surprisingly, actually the next day, it actually snowed where we live, so we had a after Christmas, white day Christmas, so super awesome there. For New Year's, I believe me and my husband, we have two plans. We haven't decided which one we're gonna do yet. We're gonna go either a night skiing at our local ski resort, because they do a really cool New Year's Eve, New Year's Day celebration where they do fireworks and then they turn all the lights off at the ski resort, and they have their team ski down wearing the little light up costume things, and they ski down the hill and do cool little things. So either do that, or we're going to hang out with a few friends, and my husband and his friend will play music and jam and have just a get together there. But we'll see what happens. In today's video, I'm actually going to talk about triglycerides and basically what they are and what they do in a short video explanation. But first, as well, I am not even halfway through this book yet. Metabolic by Dr. or MD Robert H. Lustig. I highly suggest you buy this book and read it. It's very fascinating and eye-opening even more. A lot of the stuff I kind of already knew, but it's just reassuring and even more eye-opening about our health. And I think it's a very good book for you to read and then to let friends and family borrow if they want to borrow it. But I highly suggest this book. Highly suggest this book. If you want to buy a book, buy this one, read it. The Big Fat Surprise, I was started that one, but things got busy. I haven't finished it, and that one's really good too. I'm going to finish that book after I finish this one. So there's that. But anyways, on to today's video. What are triglycerides and what do they do in your body? So, a triglyceride is basically an ester that's made up of a glycerol, which is a type of alcohol, and then 3 fatty acids, hence the name triglyceride. Triglycerides are the source of body fat. They are also in the blood to help bidirectional transfer of adipose tissue and blood glucose from the liver. So basically, they are also transporters to either transport adipose fat tissue, or they transport blood glucose. And your liver is the one that tells it where it's going to go. The liver is where cholesterol is used to build cells and certain hormones, and so they uses triglycerides as well to do all that. So your liver is amazing. It's one of my favorite body organs, actually. So triglycerides can be made up of saturated or unsaturated fatty acids, and they can be used as energy sources when stored in adipose tissue, and they also provide cushion and insulation for the body. So when you go into ketosis and you stay in ketosis, that is the source of energy you're using. You're actually burning your adipose fat tissue to make energy, and that's usually why majority of the time when you start a ketogenic diet, you lose body fat, is because of this process. Because instead of your body using glucose as energy, it's now using those fats as energies, and it's your triglycerides that are stored in your adipose tissue that your body's using as energy. So when we overeat glucose, which is a fuel for our cells, our body actually converts the excess glucose to triglycerides. And then these triglycerides are stored as body fat, and they will be saved until they are needed for instances such as fasting or starvation. So that's why when we eat too much glucose that our body doesn't need, it is stored as fat. So another reason why fat does not make you fat. It's the sugars that make you fat, because they turn into triglycerides, which therefore gets turned into body fat. So when your body needs to store triglycerides, it'll actually break them down into fatty acids. The fatty acids are transferred to the liver. The liver then oxidizes the fatty acids to make ATP. ATP is what provides your cells with energy, and it's also one reason why people can still fuel their cells with energy without eating carbohydrates. And then when triglycerides are in the blood vessels, they are in the form of what is known as kilomicrons and VLDL. So kilomicrons are made up of 90% triglycerides, and VLDL are made up of 60% triglycerides. And these chylomicrons can be uptaken by the adipose tissue by lipoprotein lipase enzyme, and the above cycle starts all over again. So the whole liver processing those fatty acids, turning them into ATP, or storing them as storing that energy as body fat, and then that whole cycle starts all over again. And so as you can see, the more glucose we ingest, the more we can't use that as energy, therefore it turns into body fat. So that whole cycle just keeps continuing and continuing and continuing. So our liver can create triglycerides through the hepatocyte cells in the liver. Just in case you guys wanted to know that, so we can create our own triglycerides. So glucose enters those hepatocyte cells, and then through glycolysis, it's converted to pyruvate, and then to acetyl, and then that is used in the Krebs cycle to create energy. So if we have too much glucose, pyruvate will be made into glycerol, and the acetyl will be converted to cholesterol. And within the cell, there are free-floating fatty acids. These then are packaged and sent into the bloodstream as VLDL. So now let's talk about the biochemistry of triglyceride synthesis. So glucose is converted into pyruvate. This is known as glycolysis. If we have too much glucose, our body will convert the glucose into diacylglycerol, and then that is converted into triglycerides. These are stored in the adipose tissue for further energy use. So hence why we gain weight by eating more glucose than our body needs. You have about 4 grams of glucose in your body depending on your individual body, such as weight and height. So glucose can be produced by lactate, pyruvate, and glycerol, fat, and certain amino acids, protein, by the process called glucogenesis. This is how you maintain your 4 grams of glucose in your body on a low-carb diet. So there's no need for you to eat carbohydrates to make sure that you have the proper amount of glucose in your blood. Your body automatically does that for you through those processes of producing the lactate, pyruvate, glycerol, and with certain amino acids. High triglycerides can contribute to thickening of the artery walls by triggering the inflammation response, helping other particles to gather, creating the plaque. And that's why having a high triglyceride level is not good, because it is part of the problem. It's not the problem. It contributes to the problem. So high triglycerides can also lead to pancreatitis as well, because your pancreas is now overproducing insulin or underproducing insulin because of your high triglyceride levels, because the amount of glucose you're having in your body, and now that's being converted into the body fat. So your pancreas is working overtime to do that, and that's why it can lead to pancreatitis. So the reasons for high triglyceride levels include overeating, obesity, drinking alcohol, underlying diseases such as kidney disease, hypothyroidism, and uncontrolled diabetes. A sedentary lifestyle and eating unhealthy foods also contribute to having high triglyceride levels. These in turn increase your risk for a heart attack. Now, increase your risk does not mean if you have high triglycerides, you are going to have a heart attack. It is just part of the whole continuum of a heart attack. So if you lower triglyceride levels, you do lower your risk of a heart attack as well, because you're usually lowering other things, like you're usually lowering your risk of diabetes, you're lowering your risk of inflammation by eating a whole healthy food diet and not as much processed food. So you're eliminating a lot of factors that are usually the contributor to having a heart attack or other types of diseases. So, how can you reduce your triglycerides levels? Well, you can reduce your triglyceride levels by working out and modifying your diet to healthy whole foods. Now, that's where the carnivore lifestyle comes into play, because you're really eliminating almost every processed food, and you're eating healthy whole foods, and you are ingesting foods that your body needs. So you're eating a lot of meat, which is very, very good for you. It has all the essential nutrients that your body needs, and therefore it allows your body to function properly. Now, if you eat healthy whole foods, like a true keto diet or lifestyle, you can lower your triglycerides as well, because you're eliminating basically the processed food, which is really bad for you. So, intermittent fasting has also been shown to help with weight loss and reducing your triglyceride levels as well. So there you guys have it. That is just a basic understanding of what triglycerides are. I will be doing more videos like this to help better educate you guys as well. I know I learned a lot from doing these. So I will probably be doing a second part to this video later on in the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And like always, don't forget that like button. Make sure you check out that join button. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.